Peace, family. It's your boy Zay-P, Zay-P the I am. I am that I am, as you are that you are, for we are all that we are. From the individual to the many, for the many is the all, and the all is one. Just came out of meditation not too long ago, and Spirit was dropping some insight, and some messages came forth that I need to share. So this particular video is about the fact that we are our own grandest visions of ourselves already. We hear a lot of lip service in these communities, especially in the spiritual communities, especially in religious communities, about being children of God, about being worthy of love, about being worthy of ourselves. Yet somehow, some way, we manage to go through life picking up conditioning, picking up thoughts that we are not worthy, that we are not there yet. We are not. There's more for us to do. We can be better. We need to be perfect. That being ourselves is not good enough. We pick up all these toxic, tainted messages that completely tear us down. They work against us. These are our tower moments in life. These are our divisive fractal experiences that tends to tear us apart, because we are constantly just trying to push away and get rid of and run from that which we are. However, the message came through today with respect to all of us as we envision ourselves, the you that you imagine yourself to be. When you think about your greatest self, when you think about being the best you can be, whether that's the best you can be here in life, or even whether that's the reunion, the return to source, the return back to spirit, back to energy. A lot of people feel like, oh, once I pass, I'll be closer to perfection. I'll be closer to myself. I'll be closer to God. Not realizing that God is everywhere, but everywhere includes within. Everywhere includes being directly connected to you. Not only directly connected to you, the insight, the fact that you yourself are an embodiment of God, of spirit, of consciousness, of the universe, of conceptualization, of thought. You are an embodiment of all of these things. You just individualized, you separated, but at the same time, it is still all you. That said, there's this idea that we look outside of ourselves. We look to this future version of us, or we look to this version of us where we're finally wholly perfected and completed in ourselves, that we're worthy of reconnecting and reunion with Source. Even it's the same idea as going to heaven. That's the idea that, if you become so whole and complete in yourself here and now, you get to go into heaven. The idea that going into heaven is your reunion with Source, right? But the message also comes in that if you understand the aspect of incarnating and the aspect of coming into life, coming into fruition, coming into the physical, you have to understand that that greatest self which you look to, whether it is God, whether it is Source, whether it's the universe, whether it's your higher self, all these different aspects of self, all these greater versions of you that you look to, have chosen to embody at this place, at this time, here and now, in the vessel that you are in, because this is that vision of its ultimate perfection. You came in perfect as is. There is no need for you to seek perfection. There's no need for you to seek worthiness. You are worthy. We've conditioned ourselves to think otherwise, to create more separation, as if being in the physical isn't separate enough. And so as we start to create more separation by believing, by taking on these ideas that we're not worthy, that we're not good enough, that we're not whole and complete. We merely separate ourselves and we validate those beliefs. We make them real because they're not real. So we have to make them real by making them our own personal beliefs. See, that's where I fucked up. I spilled that water. See, I talk too much, keep getting into trouble. It starts with our parents. It goes all throughout life, all throughout the cultures of society. Everybody judging everybody, forcing people to try to live within certain boxes. This is how you're supposed to be. This is what we do. This is how we live. This is our faction. Or this is our way of being. This is how you are supposed to be, right? Whether it's this is how you being black, this is how you are being white, this is how you're supposed to be. Whether it's this is how you are in the West, and this is how we are in the East, right? We're more Western and logical. We're more scientific, and in the East, we're more with the feminine and we're receptive and but these are boxes we put on ourselves. We are all of that. You come in perfect and whole as is. You can be logical and perceptive. You can be intuitive and creative. There's a reason why we have both sides of the brain. So when we look outward and we look at what's beyond, we look at how do we get there? How do we become worthy? Understand that those beings that we're looking at, that even God itself, the concept, not the anthropization, is that the correct word? Anthropization. That is basically when we put human characteristics on things that are not human, right? So you'll hear me talk about this more in the future, but the idea that we anthropomorphize God and non-gender, not even a biological being per se, but an energy, but an aspect, an essence, the all, right? It is the all, the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end, from the first cell to the totality of the being. It is the all. So to put it into a spectrum or anthropomorphize it as though it's human, God as a being with human-like behavior, is ridiculous, right? But this is what we do. So when we do that and we look at God externally as though God is not within, and we think, I have to be worthy to get back to that, perfection, to return home to heaven. I have to be worthy. I have to get better. I have to make myself perfect. We don't realize that God has chosen to embody within you, to allow the you that you perceive to be expressed in your fullest, to be expressed in all that your heart and soul aligns with. You came in perfect and complete. And when you trust and you step into that, into who you are, then you allow the perfectness, the completion of the all to be expressed. You allow it to be embodied through you. But it is a simple matter of changing that thought, understanding that you already are that vision of that complete and perfect being. Whether you're actively here and now embodying it and actively expressing it, that's a different story. You may not be, but that is the difference. Is it is not a matter of figuring out how to become more and how to become perfect, but figuring out how to get rid of that which separates you from what you truly are. Those negative beliefs, those thoughts that say, I can't do this, or this isn't possible. Those thoughts that say, that person's trying to get me, or that person's trying to get me, and I have to act outside of what I feel, of what resonates in my being. All of those thoughts, all of those beliefs that separate, that divide, that tear us down, that restrict us, that cause fear, those are the things you need to let go of. Let go of these things to allow your perfection to shine. You are already that which you're seeking. You are just turning a blind eye. You're believing you need to become more, and you're striving to become more, and really you need to become less. You need to drop density. You need to let go. Get rid of the fear. Get rid of the divisive beliefs, the anger and the bitterness. Allow things, lighter energies in, like love and forgiveness and acceptance and peace, joy, happiness, contentment. Even when things are not perfect, can you be content? Because you're more empowered being content than being whiny and moany and bitchy. So when you get caught up in your ideas of, I need to be more, I need to be better, I need to strive and reach this perfection, understand that you are already loved, you are already worthy, you are accepted as an aspect of the divine, and the divine wants you to come home. The divine wants the reunion. But the reunion doesn't have to be after you're dead. The reunion doesn't have to be any other time outside of here and now. You can have your reunion simply by accepting all that you are, dropping all that you're not. That is what's holding you up. Believing that all that we're not is needing to be improved, and it is just needing to be let go of. You are that ultimate version of you. Spirit, God, source, your higher self has come in, has chosen this body, has chosen this life, these circumstances, so that it may be defined in the expression of your story. And you living your life, how do you face your challenges? How do you overcome? How do you rise above? How do you shift beyond things being challenges? To understanding they're just circumstances, understanding they're just stimuli, understanding they're just more information for you to hone and define your own light. What am I in regards and in relation to my sickle cell? Been in and out of the hospital my whole life. What am I in regards to that? Am I a victim? Oh, woe is me. I'm always hurting. Am I an empowered being? Okay. I'm intelligent. I can learn how to take care of myself. I'm not limited. I'm not disabled. I'm strong. I'm passionate. I'm fiery. I'm creative. I'm somebody that something like sickle cell cannot stop me. Oh, I am God. And I can overcome that because God is with me. God is with me. God is within me. How are you choosing to be? All you have to do is accept, is trust, and to know. And even the thoughts of, well, what if, the person, if we let ourselves go and we let ourselves be who we truly want to be, we're causing damage, we're causing harm. If you're in alignment with yourself, you're not going to. There's a reason why we have ideas like the golden rule, like do no harm to others. Pursue your life, pursue your joys, pursue your passions, pursue those inclinations that fulfill and expand you. But do no harm. For why would you do harm to other aspects of yourself? If we are all one, if God is all one, why are you standing around trying to cut off your arm? I don't like that. That's ridiculous. If you're focused on you, you have no reason to attack anything else. And you understand that when you're aligned, all things other than you are an aspect of you. For they give you stimuli, for they give you things to respond to, for they give you the co-creative experience that is life. Come into alignment. Understand your perfection. Understand your connection. Trust and allow. Have that faith. Keep that faith. But put that faith in your heart, not externally. You are the ultimate version of you.